In the beginning, there was no beginning. Before time was etched into the stars, before the first dawn kissed the horizon, there existed a world of breathtaking beauty, yet profound emptiness. Imagine a scroll of silk, unrolled to reveal landscapes of impossible grandeur. Mountains, sharp and majestic, pierced the heavens, their peaks shrouded in ancient mists that swirled like the breath of a sleeping dragon. Rivers of liquid jade carved their paths through silent valleys, their waters reflecting a sky vast and unblemished, a canvas of azure and pearl. Forests of giant, gnarled trees stood as silent sentinels, their leaves whispering secrets to a wind that had no one to listen. It was a world perfect in its form, a symphony of earth, water, and air, but it was a silent symphony. There was no laughter to echo through the canyons, no footsteps to grace the winding trails, no stories to be told under the light of the moon. The land was a magnificent, ornate vessel, awaiting the spirit that would give it a soul. This pristine realm, vibrant with life of feather and fur, of scale and leaf, waited in a state of suspended grace, longing for a presence it did not yet know it lacked the complex, chaotic, and beautiful heart of humanity. Into this silent majesty glided a figure of divine grace and cosmic power, Nüwa. She was not born of the earth, but was the earth's awakening consciousness. A goddess of unparalleled beauty, her form was a fusion of the celestial and the terrestrial, a serene, intelligent human face atop the powerful, sinuous body of a serpent, shimmering with scales that held the colors of dawn. As she moved across the desolate plains, her presence alone seemed to coax the world into a deeper state of being. The wind softened, the rivers hummed a gentler tune. Loneliness, a feeling she had never known, began to bloom in her immortal heart as she gazed upon the perfect, yet sterile, landscape. She yearned for beings who could share in this beauty, who could feel joy, express sorrow, and fill the world with the vibrant energy of life. Kneeling by the bank of a great, yellow river, she felt the soft, pliable clay beneath her fingers. An idea, brilliant as a newborn star, sparked in her mind. With hands that held the power to shape destinies, she began to mold the wet earth. She sculpted a small figure, giving it legs to walk the earth, arms to embrace, and a face to reflect the myriad emotions of a soul. As she held the delicate creation, she breathed a whisper of her own divine essence into its silent form. A soft, golden light pulsed from within the clay. The static figure trembled, its earthen skin gaining the warm hues of life. Its eyes, once dull and empty, blinked open, filled with wonder and curiosity. It was the first human. A smile bloomed on Nüwa's face as she watched it take its first tentative steps, a creature of earth and spirit. Inspired, she worked tirelessly, her hands a blur of creation. Each figure she molded was unique, a testament to her creative joy. Some were strong, others were graceful, some were thoughtful, others were boisterous. As they came to life, the world was filled with new sounds. The first laughter, a cascade of pure delight, echoed through the mountains. The first words, spoken in awe, mingled with the rustling leaves. They learned to walk, to run, to dance under the sun, Small groups gathered, forming the first communities, their simple huts of mud and thatch becoming the first villages, humble testaments to a newfound existence. Under the benevolent and watchful gaze of their Creator, humanity began to flourish. The seeds of civilization, planted by Nüwa's hands, blossomed across the vast land. Life was a tapestry woven with threads of harmony and joy. In the fertile valleys, families worked together, their hands tilling the rich soil. They learned the rhythms of the seasons, planting seeds in the spring and gathering bountiful harvests in the autumn. The air, once silent, now carried the melodies of life. The sound of simple flutes carved from reeds drifted from the hillsides, their notes telling tales of love and contentment. The rhythmic beat of drums accompanied communal dances, celebrating the harvest, the birth of a child, the simple joy of being alive. Children, their faces bright with innocence, chased each other through fields of wildflowers, their laughter the sweetest music the world had ever known. Elders sat in the shade of ancient trees, their faces etched with the wisdom of lived experience, sharing stories of their divine mother, Nüwa, who had given them the gift of life. A profound balance permeated all existence. Humans lived in concert with nature, taking only what they needed, honoring the rivers that quenched their thirst and the forests that gave them shelter. Nüwa watched from her celestial abode, her heart swelling with pride and love. The world was no longer empty. It was a vibrant, thriving home, filled with the spirit of the beings she had so lovingly crafted. It was an age of innocence, a golden era of peace, where the bond between the divine and the mortal was as clear and strong as the light of the morning sun. This idyllic harmony was destined to be shattered. Suddenly, without warning, a cataclysm of cosmic proportions tore the world asunder. From the heavens came a deafening crack, a sound like the universe itself breaking apart. The four great pillars that held the sky aloft, immense cosmic columns that separated heaven and earth, crumbled and collapsed. The celestial dome, once a perfect canopy of blue, fractured like a piece of shattered pottery. Great, gaping wounds opened in the firmament, through which the primordial chaos of the void began to pour. A torrent of celestial water, a flood of cosmic scale, cascaded down, extinguishing the sun and turning the world into a dark, churning maelstrom. Simultaneously, monstrous fires erupted from the fissures in the earth, raging infernos that consumed forests and boiled rivers in an instant. The very foundations of the world groaned and buckled. Mountains, once symbols of eternal stability, imploded, their stony hearts turned to dust. The great rivers, their banks obliterated, overflowed, and merged into a single, raging ocean that swallowed villages whole. The screams of humanity pierced the chaotic din. People who had known only peace were now faced with unimaginable terror. They ran in panic, their cries for help lost in the roar of collapsing earth and falling sky. It was the end of all things, an apocalypse born of a broken cosmos. The world Nüwa had so lovingly created was being unmade before her eyes, its beauty and harmony drowned in a tempest of fire, flood, and despair. Witnessing the suffering of her children, Nüwa's heart was torn with anguish and resolve. She would not allow her creation to perish. With the fury of a protective mother, she sprang into action. Her divine purpose was clear. She must mend the heavens. She journeyed to the great rivers and ancient mountains, gathering stones of 5 sacred colors: azure for the sky, crimson for fire, gold for the sun, ebony for the darkness, and jade for the earth. These were no ordinary stones. They held the primordial essence of the world itself. Carrying them to a sacred peak, she built a divine forge. With a breath, she ignited a celestial fire, its flames hot enough to melt stars. Into this roaring crucible, she cast the 5 colored stones. The forge glowed with an otherworldly light as the stones melted, swirled, and fused into a molten, rainbow-hued liquid, a divine mortar pulsating with cosmic energy. Holding this incandescent elixir, Nüwa ascended into the tumultuous, broken sky. With divine strength and unwavering determination, she began the colossal task of repair. She poured the 5-colored liquid into the gaping fissures, sealing the wounds of the firmament. The light of the molten stones pushed back the darkness, cauterizing the edges of the cosmic tears. Her work was not done. The sky, though patched, was unstable without its supports. She sought out how the colossal cosmic turtle, and with a heavy heart, severed its mighty legs. Ascending once more, she placed these immense limbs at the 4 corners of the world, creating new, unshakable pillars to hold the heavens aloft. Her body strained, her spirit poured into the monumental effort. She single-handedly restored the fundamental structure of the universe. As the last crack was sealed and the new pillars stood firm, a profound calm descended upon the world. The celestial floods receded, the raging fires died down, and the trembling earth grew still. The sun, no longer obscured by chaos, broke through the clouds, casting its gentle rays upon the land once more. The waters settled back into their riverbeds, and the scarred mountains stood silent under the newly mended sky. Humanity, emerging from their hiding places, looked up in stunned silence. The terror was gone. In its place, a breathtaking sight met their eyes. Where the sky had been broken, there now remained a permanent, shimmering stain of 5 beautiful colors, a celestial rainbow, a constant reminder of the goddess's monumental sacrifice. A wave of overwhelming gratitude washed over the survivors. They fell to their knees, their faces turned to the heavens, praising the name of Nüwa. She was not just their creator, she was their savior, the merciful and wise mother who had braved the chaos of the void to protect them. They returned to their ravaged villages, but this time with a renewed spirit. With resilience born of hardship, they began to rebuild their homes, their lives, their world, forever carrying the story of Nüwa's bravery in their hearts. The 5-colored glow in the sky became a sacred symbol, a promise of divine protection, and a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love. The myth of Nüwa is more than just a story of creation. It is an epic saga of resilience, sacrifice, and the unbreakable bond between the divine and the mortal. It teaches that even in the face of absolute cosmic disaster, order can be restored through courage and wisdom. Nüwa's actions molding humanity from the earth and mending the very fabric of the heavens represent the eternal cycle of creation, destruction, and rebirth. Her story is embedded in the Chinese spirit, a timeless narrative of a compassionate creator who not only gives life, but fiercely protects it. She is the ultimate guardian, the mother goddess, whose love is so powerful it can hold up the sky. Her legacy is not just in the people she created, but in the vibrant, five-colored light that still paints the heavens after a storm, a beautiful, enduring symbol of hope and divine grace. Like, subscribe, share. One click means the world to this channel.